He says that the young man has been in the game long enough to understand that everything works according to the rules, including being in prison. Lin Yu says that he needs to leave the prison area because he needs to organize the work of his subordinates to transport ore. The captain advises the young man not to worry. He says that sooner or later the time will come when he will find himself in the outside world. And now he is organizing the removal of ore with the help of freed ghosts. The captain says that every month on the 15th, on the full moon, the ghostly gates open and they release ghosts who have served their sentences. Lin Yu thinks about the captain's words. He realizes that he has time to complete his business inside the prison and prepare for the next step. The prison director raises an important question for the main character. A huge amount of energy is needed to break the rules of the prison. Lin Yu senses that the director wants to test his strength and abilities through cunning. Confident in his knowledge, Lin Yu talks about his ability to circumvent the prison rules, which surprises the staff. The director carefully studies the main character and says that such abilities are available only to the leader of evil spirits, or to those who have been granted such powers by the spirits. The captain is a very powerful ghost, but even he cannot escape from prison. He believes that the main character is his chance for liberation, which should not be missed. The prison director applauds and suggests celebrating the start of cooperation. The ghost reports that he has excellent wine and skillfully pours it into glasses. The captain tells the director that Lin Yu gave this wine, which greatly surprises the prison director. Lin Yu tells the ghost that wine should be drunk not for profit, but for health. He raises his glass and offers to drink for the ghosts. The prison director fully supports the guy, believing that they think in the same direction and are very similar. The ghost considers the main character a pleasant person, and begins to regret that the guy has a limited prison term. Lin Yu says goodbye to the prison director and says that being business partners, they will definitely meet again in the future. The main character believes that the prison director has enough strength and power to not limit himself to the rules of the prison. Lin Yu wonders what his chances will be if he tries to provoke the director in the future. Feeling colossal energy, the main character understands that the ghost, despite the restrictions by the rules, is very dangerous. Lin Yu thinks that even if he takes control of the prison director, he will be opposed by a clearly structured system with a large number of opponents. The young man believes that he needs to prepare in advance for the decisive battle. Lin Yu calls Bai's secretary and asks the girl how things are going with the purchase of ore warehouses. Bai tells the young man that she bought 5 warehouses on the outskirts of the city, as well as one excellent building, which is located near the apartments of the Council of Other Worlds. In addition, the girl contacted the Chamber of Commerce and agreed with them to protect the warehouses. Bai has spent all the money allocated for the purchase of real estate and is very worried about it. Lin Yu tells the girl that this is not a problem. He hands her a thick wad of banknotes and says that this is her bonus. Bai tries to refuse the reward, explaining that it is unnecessary since she was only doing her job. The main character believes that it is necessary to reward his employees for a job well done. Bai tells the protagonist that money is not her true motivation. Lin Yu is pleased that his ghost can use the properties of ghost space to freely enter and exit the prison. Thanks to the patronage of the main character, the girl can violate the rules of the prison, and she cannot be tracked. Lin Yu gives instructions to his secretary. The guy wants the first batch of ore to be delivered to the outside world tomorrow. The main character intends to bypass the prison rules with the help of Bai during the night release of ghosts. Lin Yu gathers the members of his gaming team for a meeting. The players thank the main character for the fact that they have been in the game for the 3rd day and are still alive. Hylan tells the main character that a high-ranking player from a foreign team died in prison. Wentian believes that the death of a high-level player is not an accident or an accident. The main character is pleased with this news. He believes that the more foreign players die in the civil strife, the easier it will be for him to win the future battle. Lin Yu turns to Xiaoli and asks the girl to talk about her wound. Xiaoli tells the guy that there is no reason to worry, and her vision has already partially returned. The girl says that she feels great, and has already participated in yesterday's fights with her cellmates. Xiaobai says that last night they took advantage of the situation and seriously injured one of the foreign players. The players say that the atmosphere among the participants is heating up. The main character believes that there is no need to prevent this. It is necessary to allow foreign players to kill each other. Bai believes that besides protection, the most important thing now is to find a way to escape from prison. Lin Yu informs his team that there will be a great opportunity to escape soon, as the prison gates will open on the 15th, an hour before midnight, to free hundreds of ghosts. Bai understands that they will only have 1 hour. The girl believes that they may have difficulties due to lack of time. Lin Yu will be preparing to escape in the next couple of days, and will not be able to look after the girls, so he asks Bai to take over the protection of the female part of the team. Bai agrees with the protagonist's request and says that she will do her best. Lin Yu is in a cave with his friends. The guy watches as the players of the Korean team run towards him as fast as they can. The captain of the Korean team runs up to the main character and asks if he has anything to do with yesterday's incident. Lin Yu clarifies what happened yesterday. The players say that evil spirits broke the lock on the cell doors and attacked them. The main character believes that it was not in vain that he paid the ghost bandits, since the attack was their doing. Lin Yu explains to the captain of the Korean team that he shouldn't fantasize. The guy says that if he wanted to attack, he would do it openly. The captain of the Korean team does not believe the main character, and believes that Lin Yu is involved in the incident. The Korean says that he did not intend to quarrel with the main character, and proposes to act together in the future. Lin Yu tells the Koreans that he knows that foreign players have joined forces to fight his team together. The captain of the Korean team makes excuses. He says that he did nothing wrong and the Americans are to blame for everything. He asks not to hold a grudge against him, and admits his mistake in choosing allies. The main character says that he is bound by obligations and cannot just start working with the Koreans, since he has entered into an alliance with the American team. The captain of the Korean team leaves, realizing that the protagonist's persuasion will not lead to results. The main character throws 2 packs of cigarettes at Wentian, and asks him to inform the ghost bandits so that they will attack foreign players again in the near future. The main character informs the player that he bribed Warden Wu and suggests contacting him if any problems arise. The guy explains that there is nothing wrong with bribery, since to win you need to use various methods, including financial ones. The warden is a powerful ghost, but the main character believes that he will not be able to cope with hundreds of spirits in the upcoming event. Lin Yu intends to develop his spiritual power and prepare for the night procession of the spirits. He retrieves a dried-up lamp from the virtual storage. The magic lamp helps to improve and harden the player by using the energy of the corpses of high-ranking ghosts, mixed with yin energy as fuel. The main character intends to test how effective this artifact will be in the remaining few hours before the decisive battle. A few hours after using the magic lamp, Lin Yu activates the scan. The money system informs him that his spiritual power has increased, and he is close to achieving the title of 4th-level Ghost Lord. Lin Yu believes that the time has come to go free. Today a night procession of hundreds of ghosts awaits him. The prison director lined up his subordinates for instructions. He informs the guards that an important event is coming this evening. The guards are well acquainted with the rules of the prison. They assure that they remember what to do. The prison director orders the guards to monitor the ghost gates and not spare anyone who tries to escape, even if it is the advisor of Otherworld's Lin Yu. The main character gathers his team for a meeting. The players joyfully greet their captain. Lin Yu informs the players that today is the last day of the mission, and during this meeting the final tactics must be developed. Thanks to provocations and bribery, Americans and Korean players have recently come to hate each other. Bai reports that the Japanese men's team and the American women's team have been completely destroyed, but the girl fears that foreign players will try to join forces at the last moment. The girl says that foreign players are aware of the upcoming night procession, and as soon as the ghostly gate opens, they will immediately try to escape. The newcomers believe that foreigners will not dare to attack them because they know how powerful Lin Yu is. Xiaobai reports that the rules of the game contain hidden threats. If the player becomes stronger, the game may set stricter rules for him. The girl is ready to sacrifice her interests in development in order to protect newcomers from danger. Low-ranking players are very worried, realizing that foreign players will not have much difficulty in reducing the number of low-ranking opponents. Lin Yu calms them down, reminding them that they will overcome all difficulties and emerge victorious. Shanking understands that in the final battle they can become a tasty prey for foreign players, as many will want to earn extra points in the final game. Bai asks young people not to worry, assuring them that she and Lin Yu will protect them and help them develop faster in the game. Bai asks the protagonist if he has a plan to escape from the Yin Hell prison. Lin Yu shows the players a map, and says that his subordinates have scouted out the location of all the gates that are located near the mine. The players' meeting is coming to an end, and Lin Yu finally wants to discuss one risky idea with his friends, hoping that young people will support it. Night falls. The main character and his team secretly move through the deserted streets. At the appointed time and place, they are met by the bribed prison warden. The warden asks the young people not to waste time and to follow him as quickly as possible. Their movement is stopped by the voice of the captain of the American team. Kane asks the young people where they are going at such a late hour. The main character answers the captain of the Americans. He says that the warden took them with him to settle a small matter. Kane demands to stop fooling around and reminds that it is already 10 o'clock, and the ghost gates will open soon. The captain of the American team asks the main character how he received the privilege of leaving prison early. Lin Yu responds rudely to the American. He says that it is none of his business and he shouldn't poke his nose into other people's affairs. Kane reacts angrily to the guy's words, reminding him that his team killed many foreign players for them. And now the main character is going to abandon his comrades in a difficult moment. After some consideration, Lin Yu allows Kane and his team to join them. The protagonist's team begins to be indignant. Lin Yu calms them down, explaining that now there is no need for unnecessary rumors. Besides, the American is right. They previously collaborated, and it would be ignoble to leave them here to die. At the same time, Kane is joined by the remnants of his team. Kane tells his players that Lin Yu is easily manipulated by moral principles. Players quickly move through the night streets. Kane looks around warily. The captain of the American team tells the main character that this road does not lead to the ghostly gate. Lin Yu explains that they are heading towards secret passages and tells the American not to be afraid, assuring that they will arrive there in 5 minutes. Players reach a secret passage and slowly approach the treasured door. Lin Yu orders the warden to open the doors immediately. The ghost in a hurry begins to look for the keys in his pockets. The warden opens the secret doors and tells the players they can go, congratulating them on this moment. The players, excited and wary, begin to cross through the gate, with Kane heading towards the exit with an important stride. The American team leader tells Lin Yu that he has a special gift for him. At this moment, a strange-looking ghost girl appears on the roof. Her eerie appearance radiates danger. The ghost girl launches a spear at the warden with lightning speed and jumps off the roof, intending to strike again. Lin Yu reacts instantly. The guy covers the guard and activates a magical energy field that protects them from the attack of the ghost girl. The main character, barely restraining his anger, turns to the captain of the American team and asks him what it all means. The young man did not expect such meanness from him. The captain of the American team laughs loudly and, smiling, says that this means that the main character and his team have come to an end, and that all their efforts were in vain. At this moment, Kane gives a sign, and the players of the Korean national team appear next to him, ready to attack. Lin Yu is surprised by the sudden appearance of the Koreans, and in bewilderment asks them how they could end up here, because he was confident in their neutrality. The captain of the Korean team says with a grin that they prepared in advance and had been watching the main character for several days, waiting for the right moment to strike. The main character, feeling the pain of betrayal, is very worried about his mercy, realizing that his reluctance to kill his opponents turned into a stab in the back. The captain of the Korean team disdainfully tells the protagonist that their survival is not due to his grace or merit, but only the result of their own strength and strategy. The main character understands that all the foreign players have united. The guy notices that there is also a Japanese team nearby, which causes him great surprise. Lin Yu, in bewilderment, asks the Japanese how they could unite with the Americans, since they destroyed almost their entire team. It seems incredible to him that they are now together. The Japanese woman answers calmly and coldly, explaining that in this world there are no eternal enemies, but only temporary allies, and only benefit matters. The main character, realizing the treachery of his opponents, feels the bitterness of betrayal, and understands that in this cruel world one cannot trust anyone, even those who previously seemed neutral. Foreign players think that enough talk is enough. They activate their energy fields and rush into a furious attack. The main character calls upon the ghosts of bandits for help. Their terrifying appearance makes enemies shudder. The ghost bandits respectfully call Lin Yu master, and declare that they are ready to defend him and fight to the last. The main character, with a grin, informs the commander of the American team that he also has trump cards up his sleeve. The American understands that his insidious plan was known to the main character. He is sincerely surprised how the guy was able to guess about it. Lin Yu replies that there is nothing difficult in predicting the actions of a scoundrel who has no moral principles at all. The American, without losing confidence, tells the main character not to rejoice, because the evil spirits he summons are much lower in rank compared to those he can summon. The girls tell the main character that there is no point in talking further with the enemy, and the battle must begin. The girls call upon their ghosts, and 2 powerful spirits materialize above them, ready to fight. The captain of the American team considers the girls to be powerful masters. Since they were able to summon spirits of the 5th and 6th ranks, this arouses his respect and fear. Xiaobai invites the American to fight them. She expresses doubts that he has the courage to withstand their power. Kane says that he would love to taste the blood of his opponents, but believes that it is better to let his spirits deal with them. The man intends to avoid unnecessary risks. The captain of the Korean national team also summons his contract ghosts. 2 ghosts appear in the form of pretty girls who look deceptively harmless. Bei informs the main character that the enemy ghosts are very powerful, but she will do everything possible to gain time and allow the team to escape. Lin Yu confidently begins to move towards the American, inviting him to fight with him, and not with his weaker players. The guy shows his determination and readiness for battle. The captain of the American team tells Lin Yu that this time he will definitely finish him off, and summons his contract ghost demon. The main character takes out his Grave Eater spear from the virtual storage and uses it to strike the ghost demon. The ghost demon is a strong opponent. He dodges the blow and circles over the main character to find his weak point and deliver a fatal blow. Kane asks the main character if he is strong enough to resist his ghost. Then he takes out his sword and attacks the guy. During the forging of the Grave Eater's spear, the golden threads of the Ghost King were used, which gives the guy the opportunity to use the energy of a powerful ruler. The ghost dodges the main character's blow and tries to attack him from behind. The guy anticipates his actions and strikes with the Grave Eater's spear. The ghost is seriously injured, and the yin energy leaves him in a powerful stream. The main character intends to finish off the ghost of a demon, and an American rushes to the evil spirit's aid. Lin Yu hits Kane with a punch that knocks him several tens of meters into the air. During the fight between powerful players, destructive waves of yin energy fly in different directions. The guard reacts instantly. He places energy blocks around the players in order to protect them from the deadly energy. Kane tries to get to his feet. The man wipes the blood from his face and tells the main character that he leaves him no choice. A ghost demon materializes behind the American player, and the guy watches his approach in horror. The ghost attacks the young man, absorbing his spiritual energy, and the American screams in pain. Lin Yu is amazed by the meanness of the captain of the American team, who again betrays his comrades in order to earn a few points. A demon ghost is stalking the next player on the American team, intending to drain all the life force out of him. Lifting the American player high in the air, the ghost absorbs his life energy, becoming even stronger. Kane rises in the air. Being next to his ghost, he tells the main character that he previously underestimated him. Now the men intend to fight at full strength. The American enters into an energetic symbiosis with his ghost, and tells the main character that he will definitely kill him, even if the price is merging with the demon. Lin Yu believes that the American is too confident in his abilities. The guy intends to destroy one of the worst representatives of humanity. The main character receives an energy boost from the King of Ghosts. He pushes off the ground and jumps high into the air. A moment later, the main character finds himself near the American captain, and inflicts a fatal blow on him with the spear of the Grave Eater. The stricken American screams heart-rendingly. His lifeless body falls to the ground. The captain of the Korean team watches the death of an American. The man realizes that things are bad and tries to escape as quickly as possible. The players of the Japanese national team realize that they are in the minority. With the help of amulets, they build a protective field around themselves. This energy field created with the help of amulets does not pose any serious problems for Lin Yu. He calmly passes through it. The girl asks Lin Yu not to kill her. She reports that she is a member of a popular group and can earn a lot of money for the guy. The main character answers the girl. The guy says that he has not been interested in money for a long time. One of the girls intends to perform the seppuku ritual. She takes out a knife and rips open her stomach. The second girl is about to follow the example of her comrade in arms, and with trembling hands, reaches for the combat blade lying on the ground. Shanking informs Lin Yu that the captain of the Korean team has escaped, and it is urgent to catch up with him. The main character asks his friends not to worry and points to the ghost Hailun, who has the ability to create illusions. The captain of the Korean team is very frightened. He tries to escape, believing that he is in an ominous place. An energy portal opens, from which the main character appears. He informs the captain of the Korean team that the man is wasting his strength. Lin Yu throws his bound captive ghost at the feet of the captain of the Korean team. The Korean begins to doubt the reality of what is happening. He thinks that the main character is again up to something and is manipulating him. Lin Yu reveals that the exit was just an illusion, and behind the door is the possession of his artifact. The captain of the Korean team cannot believe what is happening. He feels that a completely different aura of yin energy is emanating from the main character's weapon. The man realizes that the guy has enormous strength and owns an infinite number of high-ranking weapons, which is clearly beyond the capabilities of an ordinary player. The main character tells the Korean that he is just a simple third-rank ghost lord. The man doubts this, since the enemy's strength and his arsenal clearly exceed the stated level. Lin Yu initially did not want to kill anyone, but his opponents, for the sake of profit, decided to follow inhumane rules and drove themselves into a dead end. The main character frees the ghost of the captain of the Korean team, and says that he can spend the last moments of his life with his master. The ghost hugs the captain of the Korean team and asks why the man abandoned him and ran away alone. The ghost turns from a pretty girl into a creepy, ugly creature, and tells the Korean that he will not forgive him for this. Lin Yu teleports to his friends and tells them that the captain of the Korean team and his ghost are dead. The girls admire the cunning plan of the main character. The guy asks to stop praising him and says that without his team, he could not do anything. The warden asks Lin Yu if he really knows how to break through the ghost gate. The main character says that he intends to break through the ghostly gates, but cannot guarantee the protection and release of all the ghosts who have sworn allegiance to him. The ghosts believe that the main character has a high level of skill and enough energy. They decide to try to break through with him. 11 o'clock arrives. The ghost gates begin to open. Players feel the powerful streams of yin energy that they emit. A great procession of souls begins. Hundreds of ghosts rush to the opening ghostly gates. Lin Yu and his team players join the ghosts heading towards the gate. The guy informs the players that the ground rule is going into effect, and anyone who tries to escape will be considered trespassers. The main character realizes that the last task in the game is essentially a large-scale battle. He encourages his team and asks them to move towards the goal as quickly as possible. At the gate of the ghosts, guards are waiting, who strike the evil spirits with their whips. driving them away from the gate. The guards notice the main character in the crowd and demand to stop immediately, declaring that he has no right to leave prison, since he has not yet served his sentence. The main character responds to the guards that they are in vain trying to stop him, since he intends to break through the gate at any cost. One of the guards reports that he is obliged to follow the rules of the prison, otherwise he will not withstand the wrath and punishment of the guardian. Lin Yu realizes that the warden is afraid of the powerful forces that control the rules of the game. The guards invite the main character to fight them, considering it a great honor. Lin Yu takes out the Grave Eater's spear from the virtual storage and tells the guards to show everything they can do. The overseers are surprised by the rare, powerful artifact, seeing a weapon of this rank for the first time. Lin Yu smashes his spear into the Grave Eater, scattering the ghosts with a powerful blast of energy. Slowly, the guy walks past the defeated ghosts. The evil spirits say that he is worthy to be a member of the Council of Another World. On Lin Yu's way, the next enemy appears, the captain of the guards. He tells the guy that he's been waiting to meet him for a long time. The main character demands that the captain stop chatting and engage in a fierce battle. They both inflict numerous blows on each other, dispersing flows of energy in different directions. Bei plans to summon ghosts and use a spell to suppress the enemy's yin power. Xiaoli summons her ghost. The girl intends to focus on breaking through to the gate while strong players hold back the main enemy forces. Resisting the enormous pressure of yin energy, the team of players rushes to break through. The main character knocks the weapon out of the captain's hands and points his spear at him, forcing the ghost to admit defeat. Passing by the surrendered captain of the ghosts, the main character receives from him information about the next enemy, who will be the warden. The prison warden emits a terrifying red aura and materializes a huge warhammer in his hands. The main character decides it's time to use his contract ghosts and summons Delu. The warden and Delu rush at each other with ferocity, exchanging numerous blows and creating huge bursts of yin energy. The prison warden rejoices at the opportunity to fight such a powerful, high-ranking ghost, since he has not had a worthy opponent for a long time. He is convinced that the main character is hiding his true rank, since the guy owns high-level artifacts and a ferocious ghost. Delu restrains the warden and orders his master to continue moving towards the gate while he holds off the enemy. The warden tells Delu that he doesn't dislike him, but he will have to kill him according to the rules. Delu is pleased with the nobility of the enemy and responds to the head of the prison. The ghost believes that the strongest will win the fight. Kane slowly crawls out through the broken wall. He watches in surprise as the two powerful ghosts fight. The American captain managed to use the blood embrace technique, faking his death. The ghosts continue to exchange blows of enormous power. Their forces are equal, and so far no one can quickly win this fight. The warden is enjoying the battle and tells his opponent that he hasn't had this much fun in a long time. The captain of the American team cannot believe that the main character entered into a contract with such a creepy and ferocious ghost. Kane does not understand why the main character did not use Delu in the battle with him, and carefully hid the ghost until the last moment. There is only a short distance left to run to the ghostly gate. The players understand that liberation awaits them soon. At this moment, a huge energy explosion occurs, and a creepy guardian ghost appears at the gate. The guardian emits a huge amount of yin energy, throwing the ghosts hundreds of meters away from the gate. The main character is very surprised. He did not expect to meet such a huge and powerful ghost on his way. The girls look piercingly at their captain. Lin Yu tells them that he will try to defeat the ghost. The main character jumps high, intending to get to the head of a huge monster. At great speed, he approaches the head of the guardian and points his Grave Eater's spear at him. The guardian strikes with his huge paw. The main character is thrown to the side with great speed. Lin Yu flies hundreds of meters away and crashes into the crowd of ghosts with force. The players rush to their captain. Lin Yu tells them that this ghost is very powerful. Xiao Bai doesn't understand how the prisoners were able to get through the ghost gate if they were guarded by such a powerful guardian. The Phantom Guardian has not appeared in previous Soul Marches. He only comes when the rules are grossly broken. It seems to the main character that the guardian's aura is familiar to him. He begins to guess that the powerful ghost appeared because of him. The newcomers from the Lin Yu team cry loudly and become hysterical. They believe that they will all die soon. Lin Yu tells his friends to calm down, assuring them that they have nothing to worry about. The main character states that no matter how powerful the guardian is, he is only one, and there are many fugitives. The guy intends to hold back the ghost while the rest try to escape. Xiao Li is very worried about the main character, realizing that he will be left alone with a powerful enemy. Lin Yu tells the girl not to worry, assuring him that he will be fine. Bei plans to change the direction of the dark energy emission to distract attention and redirect the movement of the ghosts. The girl informs the main character that she will stay with him in order to distract the guardian and allow the others to leave. Xiaoli also wants to stay to help Lin Yu, but the guy tells her that her rank will not allow her to resist the powerful ghost. Xiaobai thanks the main character, hoping to meet him in the real world after completing the quest. Lin Yu expresses gratitude to the players for their trust and asks his friends to be careful. The protagonist's team rushes to the ghost gate. Xiaobai orders his ghost to activate the funeral staff. Bei redirects the energy of his ghost to protect players who are heading towards the gate. A powerful protective aura instantly envelops players from the protagonist's team. The Guardian delivers an energy blow of colossal force to the prisoners running towards the gate. Colossal force pushes defenseless players and ghosts away from the gate. The protective aura and spells of senior players allow the main character's team to continue their movement towards the gate. The Guardian intends not to miss a single prisoner, and continues to deliver energy blows to those running. Suddenly, the ghost notices that he cannot move his arm. He turns around and sees that Lin Yu has captured his arm with the help of the Pharaoh's armband. Kane doesn't understand the rules of the game. He believed that the most powerful ghosts would be rank 6 creatures. The captain of the American team is surprised at the courage of the protagonist, who is about to fight a powerful ghost. Lin Yu, using the Pharaoh's headband, tries to climb up to the ghost's head in order to deal him a fatal blow. The guy ends up on the Guardian's hand and quickly moves up to the monster's head. The Guardian believes that the main character overestimates his strength and calls him a pathetic worm. Lin Yu materializes magical cards, trying to use them to block the Guardian's movement. For a split second, the Guardian finds himself motionless. The guy jumps high and raises his spear to strike. At great speed, he approaches the head of the Guardian. A huge amount of energy is emitted from his Grave Eater spear. Lin Yu deals a powerful blow to the ghost. The huge creature loses its balance, and yin energy pours out of its body in powerful streams. The prison warden stops his duel with Delu. He strives to get closer to powerful streams of energy that he has never seen in his life. The huge Guardian falls to the ground with a roar. The American captain cannot believe that Lin Yu was able to destroy it. The ghost gate begins to close. Bei asks for forgiveness from the main character and says that she needs to leave. Lin Yu has lost a colossal amount of energy. The guy is in terrible pain and is trying to get down from the keeper's head to the ground. The main character loses consciousness. The last thing he sees is a huge ghostly gate closing. The next moment, Lin Yu is tightly wrapped in a strong energy rope. In the remaining few seconds before the gate closes, Bai manages to drag the main character through the ghostly gate using an energy rope. Delu apologizes to the warden, explaining that he is forced to leave him to find his master. The warden looks at the ghostly gate and says that he will definitely meet with Lin Yu in the future. The huge Guardian regains consciousness. He holds his head and tries to get to his feet. The keeper lets out a hellish roar, after which he asks the warden why he didn't chase the fugitives. The head of the prison reports that he was engaged in the capture of a fugitive of the 6th rank. The Phantom explains that according to the rules, he must apprehend high-ranked players first, so he switched to Kane since Lin Yu was only a 3rd-rank player. A sign appears in the sky above the players, informing them that the game called Yin Hell Prison is over. Xiaobai happily runs up to her friend and reports that all the players on their team are alive. Xiaobai asks Bei why Lin Yu is not with her. The girl says that she did not see him and does not know if he managed to get out. Bei says that the main character fought with the Guardian to the last and fears that he was seriously injured. The young people are confident that the bloody inscription guarantees that none of the team died. The girls also believe that the main character is alive, and later they are going to find a way to get him out of prison. Xiaoli is unable to contain her heartache and the girl falls to the ground and cries loudly. Bei tells players that it is time to teleport and return to the real world. The girl asks the players to immediately begin searching for the main character as soon as they find themselves in the real world. Lin Yu fell into a coma. His faithful ghosts are always near the bed and are very worried about him. Ding Liang reports that Lin Yu's wounds cannot be healed, since they were caused by the power of the rules. The ghost believes that in this case they are powerless. The blacksmith explains that the Guardian's body was the embodiment of the power of the rules. Ding Liang only knows about this in general terms. He read about it in ancient books, where it is said that only the true masters of the spirit world can control the power of the rules. Bai does not understand how, in this case, the main character won the duel if he was opposed by an entity of this kind. The ghosts come to the conclusion that there is a great power within their master that can resist the power of the rules. Consciousness returns to the main character. His aura begins to glow with a bright red glow. Lin Yu is located in an underground dungeon where yin energy circulates through countless corridors. The guy is shackled with heavy chains. The warden asks if the guy admits his guilt. Lin Yu regains consciousness. The guy does not understand where he is and how he got here. The warden takes out a red-hot brand from the oven and burns Lin Yu's chest with it. The guy sees a golden glow coming out of the brand, which quickly heals the wound. The warden reports to the commander that traditional methods of influence do not work on the prisoner. Lin Yu turns his head and sees that the Guardian is sitting on a huge throne next to him. The ghost tells the guy that the interrogation is over for today. Lin Yu realizes that he cannot control his body and tells the Guardian that he is innocent. The warden believes that the young man is lying. He orders the guy to immediately confess to what he has done and hits him with a whip. The keeper is convinced that the evil spirits in the area will forever remember the guy's dishonorable act. A huge ghost leaves the main character, saying goodbye. telling him that tomorrow will be the day of his death penalty. His soul will leave his body forever and will not be able to be reborn. Lin Yu opens his eyes and realizes that he is in his home, the words of the guardian still ringing in his head. The ghosts cannot contain their joy. They tell Lin Yu that he is at home and has regained consciousness after a short coma. Delu is very worried about the young man and cannot hold back her stingy tears. Lin Yu tries to concentrate and remember the chronology of events. The guy remembers his imprisonment and subsequent breakthrough through the ghostly gate. The monetary system congratulates the young man on completing the game and informs him that a powerful channel of energy flow has been opened for him. Lin Yu believes that the strange vision was just a very realistic dream. But the guy is worried that he still cannot get the strange sensations out of his head. Lin Yu asks the secretary how long he was unconscious. The girl says that more than 2 days have passed. Ding Liang informs the main character that his body emits a golden glow that heals all wounds. Lin Yu looks at his hand carefully. The guy believes that the system has provided him with new abilities. The main character intends to get in touch with the players of his team as soon as possible. Lin Yu goes down to the first floor into the guest room. The guy is very surprised because he sees the players of his team in the room. The main character asks the young people what they are doing at such a late hour in his house. Xiaobai is dissatisfied with the guy's reaction. The girl says that they were knocked off their feet while they were looking for him. And instead of being happy and grateful, he asks strange questions. Bai knew that the players were Lin Yu's comrades, so the girl let them into the house. During the game, Hylan did not see the real appearance of the main character. He tells the guy that he did not expect that he looked so young. Lin Yu had no intention of revealing his appearance, but the surprise visit allowed players to see his true colors. Lin Yu believes that he has nothing to hide from his new friends. However, he wants to keep the fact that he is an orphan a secret. Bei asks the young man how he is feeling. The girl saw how Lin Yu was seriously injured in battle. The guy answers the girl. He says that his injury was minor, and the wound is almost healed. Xiaobai reports that their team took first place in the rankings, and in addition, according to its calculations, more than 20 foreign players were eliminated. Lin Yu is not worried about the death of a bunch of scoundrels, but he is worried that the game encourages people to exterminate each other. Bei says that management is constantly conferring with leaders of other countries in order to find a peaceful solution to such a problem. Xiaobai suggests postponing difficult topics for later. The girl asks Lin Yu to be hospitable and give the guests a warm welcome. Lin Yu asks Delu to try to set a good table as quickly as possible, so that the players can all celebrate the completion of the game well. Delu is an excellent cook and prepares a rich table in a short period of time. Xiaoli informs the main character of her intention to leave the dinner. She refers to the fact that it is late, and she has urgent matters. Lin Yu sees that Xiaoli is in a bad mood and invites the girl to take a walk. Xiaoli happily accepts the guy's proposal. The young people leisurely stroll through the night park. Xiaoli sees Lin Yu's face for the first time. The girl believes that he turned out to be even more handsome than she imagined. Xiaoli asks the protagonist for forgiveness for giving the phone number and his address to the team players. Lin Yu asks the girl not to worry, since she does not consider this a big secret. A little jealous, Xiaoli remembers Bei and Xiaobai. The girl thinks that they are both in power and are high-ranking spirit lords. Xiaoli asks the main character if Secretary Bai is his girlfriend. The guy says that the secretary is just his ghost under contract, and he has a purely business relationship with her. Xiaoli asks the young man which of the girls around him he likes. Such a question surprises the young man a little. The girl thanks Lin Yu for her constant care and help, remembering that the guy has been helping her since the very first quest. Lin Yu is happy to be of service. The guy asks the girl if she has her own yin energy weapon. Xiaoli says that she has not yet acquired a personal weapon. Lin Yu says that he has a large amount of rare materials, and offers to turn to him if necessary. Xiaoli looks attentively at the main character, and once again thanks him for his help and care. Lin Yu tells Xiaoli that he treats her like his little sister, a statement that upsets her a little as she expected a different answer. After a long feast, the main character sees off the players of his team, and is going to have a good rest. Lin Yu falls onto a comfortable sofa and calls up the money system to familiarize himself with his characteristics. The money system reports that after passing the final test, Lin Yu is close to achieving the title of Level 4 Ghost Hunter. After this, the system reports receiving a new task, in which you need to purchase real estate in the world of ghosts worth at least 50 million minbi. The main character intends to open a trading shop in the other world. He is thinking about how to arrange this. Lin Yu calls the secretary and tells her that he wants to open a trading post, asking if he needs a license and from which company. The secretary tells the main character that in the other world there is no law as such. There is only the power of rules that everyone follows. Bai reports that you can trade without a license, but you need to be prepared for the fact that someone might try to take over the store. The secretary says that most companies do business without a license, relying on authority. But with a license, the owner can use the power of the rules of the ghost world. The main character asks Bai how someone imprisons the spirits of violators without the law. She explains that prisons are maintained by powerful sponsors and imprison not so much criminals as unwanted ones. Bai talks about how if someone goes against the basic rules of the ghost world, they will immediately be destroyed by the system of rules itself. Lin Yu understands that there's no concept of law in the other world. The guy has not yet learned the basic rule of the other world. The main character watches the secretary go. The guy understands that it will be difficult for the girl to run a business with magic ore, so he intends to hire low-ranking spirits for her in the near future. The guy hopes that Fujian and the rest of the spirits have already escaped from prison, and plans to contact them to offer them a job. Xiaobai calls the main character and tries to start a friendly conversation by asking about his health. Lin Yu replies that everything is fine with him, and asks the girl what happened. Xiaobai talks about how strange events are increasingly happening in the country, and she is very busy with work. The main character suggests that the girl not beat around the bush and say directly that she needs help. Xiaobai says that an abnormal incident happened not far from the main character, and she wants him to return to duty and help the Ninth Department. Xiaobai informs the main character that the investigation center guarantees an unusually high reward for completing the task. The guy is upset that the girl does not understand that he is not interested in money. The girl reports that a vampire has appeared in a small village nearby, attacking people, and the investigation center suspects that it is a ghost that feeds on blood. The main character was interested in this information. The guy believes that the captain of the American team is still alive. Xiaobai thanks Lin Yu for his understanding and support, saying that many lives are at stake, and explains the details of the incident. The girl reports that the investigation center agrees to pay 5 million. The main character insists on a reward of 30 million. The girl agrees with the guy's terms. She gets up and begins to speak more emotionally, emphasizing the importance and urgency of the situation, and in the near future she promises to send the guy details of the incident. The main character is not interested in money. His main task is to stop the captain of the American team. Lin Yu walks through the deserted streets of a small town, wondering why the streets are so empty. The main character approaches the doors of an ancient house and knocks loudly, waiting for an answer. An old sick man appears in the window. He asks the main character why the guy came to him. Lin Yu reports that he's looking for the headman's house and that he is from Center Number 9, which is investigating crimes committed by a vampire. The headman greets the main character with a smile and invites him to enter the house. Stepping through the threshold, Lin Yu suddenly notices a huge number of coffins placed throughout the room. Lin Yu asks the headman about the reason for such a huge number of deaths. The guy wants to know if all the dead are victims of a vampire. The headman says that this is indeed the case. The village head turns to the main character. The man hopes that the young man will help the villagers. The headman shouts to his son and asks him to prepare tea. The guy in the wheelchair reacts strongly to this, as his father does not take into account his immobility. The main character refuses the treat, declaring that he came to find out details about the incident, and not to drink tea. The main character asks the young man to share information about the vampire. Lin Yu receives a rude refusal. The guy declares that he has not seen the ghost. According to rumors circulating in the village, the first person to see the vampire was a local night taxi driver. He and his brother assumed that the strange occurrences were related to grave robbers and went to the cemetery. At the cemetery, they found an open grave without a headstone, with an open lid and no body inside. The main character listens attentively to the elder's story. He is greatly surprised by the absence of a body in the dug grave. The elder tells the young man that the police investigation showed that the coffin was broken from the inside. The next day, a local drunkard was found dead in the village, completely lacking blood. The elder informs the main character that after this incident, people began to die one after another. The headman reports that now all the villagers are scared to death and rarely leave their houses. Lin Yu asks the man whose body was originally found in the dug grave. The elder replies that he does not know the identity of the dead man. This greatly surprises the main character. The guy suggests studying the chronology of events and using the method of elimination to find out who was in the dug grave. The elder reports that this may be a problem, since this is a new burial, and recently he has not recorded when and who was buried in the cemetery. Lin Yu persistently asks the elder to remember who has died in the village recently, which will help narrow down the circle of suspects. The elder's wife pours tea for the main character and asks the young man to help solve this problem as soon as possible. The elder's son is skeptical about the protagonist's skills. He tells his mother that such a youth will not be able to help them. The elder orders his son to keep his mouth shut and asks the protagonist to forgive him for his behavior. Lin Yu thanks the elder for the information provided. The man invites the young man to talk to the owner of the hotel, located on the outskirts of the village. The main character anxiously examines the numerous coffins, and tells the elder that if he has any questions, he will return to him a little later. The man invites Lin Yu to count on his help and hope that the main character will find the vampire in the near future. The elder's testimony does not contain anything new, since the main character already knew all this. In addition, the young man found the elder's behavior strange. Lin Yu intends to interrogate another witness. The guy knocks on the door and says that he is from the investigation center number 9 and has come to look into the incident with the vampires. The woman behind the door reports that she knows nothing and adds that the master told her not to let strangers in so as not to destroy the protective seal. The main character declares that he is a detective of the 9th Investigative Department and presents his official ID. The woman lets the guy into the house and asks him not to step on the protective energy threads under any circumstances. The main character understands that the woman was deceived, since there are no seals or protective energy lines on the floor. The woman tells Lin Yu that the master installed protection on their house on the orders of the headman in order to scare away the vampire. The main character finds it suspicious that the headman hired a person to install protection, but did not use his skills in his house. Inside the room there is a man who saw the ghost of a vampire. The man tells the main character that he has been interrogated more than once and he told everything. Lin Yu is worried about the man's sickly appearance and advises him to go to the hospital immediately. The woman says that under no circumstances will she let the man out of the house, because if he leaves the door, the vampire will immediately attack him and suck all the blood out of him. The man apologizes to the main character for his wife's behavior and explains that she has gone a little crazy after being attacked by a vampire. The man tells the main character that he and his wife were among the first to see the ghost of a vampire, and after some time his wife's brother became a victim of the vampire. The main character asks the man if he told this story to the previous investigator. The man replies that he did not tell the investigator that his wife saw a vampire because he was worried about her and did not want the detectives to worry her again. The main character says that he understands the man and insists that he and his wife still need to go to the hospital. A man reveals that he has a chronic illness that cannot be cured. His wife hands him a cup of tincture and orders the man to drink it, as, in her opinion, it will maintain his health and protect him from vampires. There is a knock on the door. The man asks his wife to come to the door and see who has come. As soon as the woman goes to open the door, the man immediately pours the contents of the cup into the trash can. The main character thinks that the inhabitants of this village are a little strange. The man tells the guy that he has nothing more to say and asks the young man to leave his house. Strangers enter the room. A woman asks if the security seal installed on the house is still effective. The main character understands that the guests are Wentian and Hailan. Young people are known in the village as specialists in installing such protections. The guys are very surprised by Lin Yu's presence and ask what he's doing here. A man tries to drive away the young people. His wife calms him down and asks him to be polite to the masters. The man is convinced that the young people are scammers. He raises a cup to throw it at them. The main character quickly grabs the man's hand, preventing him from throwing the cup, and demands that the man calm down and stop the aggression. Wentian and Hailan, seeing a brewing conflict, say that they urgently need to go about business and calm the woman down, informing her that the protective seal is in perfect order. Lin Yu is also about to leave, realizing that the man will not tell him anything else important. The guy decides to continue his investigation elsewhere. A man stops the main character and advises him to interrogate the owner of the hotel. He believes that her physique is very similar to a ghost. The main character goes out into the street, where Wentian and Hailan are waiting for him. Young people run up to him and ask how he ended up here. The guy reports that he is officially conducting the investigation on behalf of the 9th Department. The guys offer Lin Yu their help. Wentian and Hailan say that they learned about a monetary reward for investigating the mysterious case and immediately went to the village. The main character understands that there were other masters in the village who also investigated this incident. The young people confirm Lin Yu's thoughts, reporting that 3 or 4 people have already visited the village over the past 3 days. The main character asks Hailan what kind of seal he used in the witness house. The guy wants to know how it can help in the fight against the vampire. Hailan says that he used the abilities of his ghost, who copied the image of Delu. If the mistress of the house casts a spell, the illusion will immediately materialize and scare away the attackers. Lin Yu says that this method is unreliable, as it is not able to completely eliminate the threat and is ineffective against spirits of the highest rank. The main character informs the young people that this incident is not at all simple, since the captain of the American team may be involved in the case. Young people cannot believe that the captain of the American team survived and made it out into the real world. Lin Yu believes that vampires can transform into humans, and Kane has the ability to enter into symbiosis with ghosts, which allows him to easily change his appearance and avoid death. The main character cannot be sure that Kane is dead. He believes that first he needs to find out everything, and only after that draw conclusions. According to information obtained during the previous investigation, victims only die at night due to severe blood loss. Lin Yu believes that people should cooperate with the investigation in order to get rid of the deadly threat as soon as possible. But locals are reluctant to make contact, and there is always a feeling that they are hiding something. The main character believes that the words of local residents should not be completely trusted, since their secrecy may indicate the existence of their own secrets and motives, which they prefer not to talk about. Lin Yu is about to interrogate the owner of the inn and asks the young people if they are ready to join the investigation. Wentian and Hailun understand what kind of housewife we are talking about. The young people report that the headman recommended that they rent a house from her. The guys approach the hotel gates, where they are greeted by a disgruntled hostess who constantly grumbles. Lin Yu asks the woman what happened, to which the hostess responds rudely by asking the guy who he is. The main character shows the woman his ID and explains that the 9th Department sent him to the village to investigate a vampire case. The woman is very surprised that such a young man is an official representative of the authorities. The hostess becomes more accommodating and turns the conversation into a more friendly form. She says that the young people arrived just in time, since she needs help cleaning up. A woman leads the young people into one of the rooms where a dead ghost hunter lies on the floor, his body completely devoid of blood. Lin Yu carefully examines the corpse of the deceased hunter and concludes that this is the work of that same vampire. The guy takes a small bell from the hands of a dead hunter. The monetary system reports the discovery of an ownerless weapon of a lower rank. Hailun reports that they moved in next to the dead hunter on the floor below, but the guys did not hear any suspicious sounds. Lin Yu asks the innkeeper how many craftsmen have checked in with her over the past week. The woman cannot answer exactly. She says that masters are often populated in groups, and therefore cannot give a clear answer. The main character asks where all these people are, whether they left or died in the hotel. The hotel owner cannot give a clear answer. Her speech is confusing and illogical. This makes the guy think that she is hiding something from the investigation. Wentian finds the situation difficult and asks Lin Yu if he has any guesses. The main character believes that everything that happened in this village is purely a conspiracy. It had previously seemed strange to the main character that residents hired craftsmen on their own, despite the fact that Center Number 9 is conducting an official investigation. The guy believes that this place is just a trap for ghost lords. Lin Yu thinks that all these ghost lords besotted with rewards are just food for the local evil spirit. The blood of ghost lords is rich in spiritual power and is the perfect treat for a vampire. The main character believes that all residents of the village may be at one with the killer, including the craftsmen who were here before. Lin Yu decides that he shouldn't act directly and openly yet. He needs to hide and pretend that he doesn't know anything. The main character believes that when it is necessary to defeat cunning people, straightforward open actions are extremely ineffective. The guy intends to pretend that he is playing by someone else's rules, and only then, after waiting for the right moment, resolve the situation. Lin Yu intends to play to his strengths. The guy hands a thick wad of banknotes to the innkeeper and asks for a hotel reservation for the next couple of days. The innkeeper considers the guy's proposal. Lin Yu increases the rates and adds 4 times more money to the payment. Greedily grabbing money, the hotel owner intends to evict the guests from some rooms. Lin Yu asks her not to do this, explaining that he originally rented the hotel with guests in mind. The main character decides to call on as many masters as possible to speed up the completion of the investigation. The guy throws money into the air and announces an increase in the reward to 10 million. Wentian and Hailun still can't believe that the main character is a fantastically rich man. Lin Yu found out that the owner of the hotel accommodated exactly 10 masters. In addition to the dead man found in the room, 3 more hunters were missing. A pretty girl approaches the main character. She wants to register in the investigation and says that the center has never given such profitable tasks. Lin Yu invites the girl to quickly register and hands her the application form. The girl's name is Beta. Her family passes on the experience of fighting spirits from generation to generation, and finally she has found a way through which her abilities will be appreciated. The girl happily leaves the main character. She believes that the government will soon find out about her hidden talent. Night falls, heavy torrential rain begins, and in the depths of the dense bushes, the eyes of a ghost vampire sparkle with bright light. The ghost knows that there are 4 spirit lords in the inn. 2 of them are rank 4. The evil spirit intends to drink their blood in order to fully restore its strength and rise to a higher level. The ghost's owner orders the vampire to be extremely careful, since the spirit lords are in one place and pose a real danger. The ghost says that there is no reason to worry. He pushes off from the ground and flies in the direction of the hotel. The werewolf ghost breaks the window and bursts into the room where Beta is serenely sleeping. The girl jumps up from her bed, takes out a battle fan, and takes a defensive stance. Beta, with the help of her fan, concentrates a clot of energy and directs it towards the ghost of a vampire. The ghost easily deflects a powerful energy strike directed by the hunter using his battle fan. Beta summons her ghost, who appears behind her in the form of a grandmother. A huge vampire ghost approaches Beta. The girl sees that her ghost is scared, as it is faced with a powerful enemy. The vampire reaches out to Beta with his ugly clawed paw. The girl and her ghost call for help and try to escape. The girl reaches the front door and opens it. A throwing energy screw flies out of it and flies towards the vampire ghost. Lin Yu appears on the threshold. The ghost is very annoyed that the guy prevented him from dealing with weak opponents. Beta clings to the main character out of fear. The guy feels that Kane is involved in the murders. Lin Yu approaches the ghost vampire and asks him where his master is. The ghost realizes that he has no chance to resist the main character. He breaks the window and jumps out into the street. Lin Yu gives chase to the ghost. The guy orders Wentian to join the chase to find the spirit lord who is behind the vampire. A ghost vampire tries to hide in a cemetery. Young people continue to chase him in the pouring rain. The main character takes out a mirror of soul imprisonment from the virtual storage in order to track the ghost. Lin Yu is a little worried. The guy finds out that the ghost is returning back to the village. To Wentian's surprise, the main character suddenly turns around and tells the guy that they need to return to the village as quickly as possible. The mirror of the imprisonment of souls leads the young people to the house of the first witness to the murder. Lin Yu carefully peers into the mirror. He is surprised that it no longer reflects the aura of the vampire ghost. The main character bursts into the house. The first witness and his wife look at him in surprise. The man is very dissatisfied with the behavior of the young man. He says that even people from Center Number 9 are not allowed to break into his house in the middle of the night. Lin Yu asks the man if he just noticed anything strange, to which the witness replies that he didn't. The main character believes that the ghost vampire could not just disappear and thinks that he's somewhere nearby. The first witness and his wife tell the young people that they did not see anything and ask them to leave the house immediately. Lin Yu sees a cup of red liquid fall out of the woman's hands, and the guy smells a painfully familiar smell. Having fallen out of the woman's hands, the cup falls to the floor and breaks. Wentian informs the main character that there was blood in the cup. The main character slowly approaches the man and asks him if he is human. Lin Yu points a soul capture mirror at the man, from which yin energy is emitted in a huge stream. At the same moment, a huge ghost vampire appears behind the man. Lin Yu understands why the soul capture mirror could not immediately find the ghost. From the very beginning, the evil spirit was in symbiosis with the person. The man orders the ghost vampire to come back as soon as possible. Lin Yu takes out the Grave Eater's spear. The man tries to detain the young man to allow the ghost to escape. The main character points a spear at the first witness and tells him not to expect mercy, since he is an accomplice. A man is not afraid to die. Without the ghost of a vampire, he cannot live in this world. Only symbiosis with an evil spirit allows him to survive. Lin Yu deals a strong blow to the man with a spear, from which he flies to the side and falls unconscious to the floor. The main character looks at the broken window and realizes that the ghost has fled to his master. With the help of the Pharaoh's bandage, Lin Yu binds the man, sensing that there is only negative energy and decay in his body. The man is clearly not the master of spirits. He is just a slave under the control of a ghost. Lin Yu orders the woman tied up, intending to interrogate her later for more information. He throws the body of the captive first witness over his shoulder and goes out into the street. There the young people meet Hylan and Beta. The main character asks them how the patrol is going. Hylan reports that everything is calm in the village. He sees a tied-up prisoner on the protagonist's shoulder and concludes that the guy has caught the killer. Lin Yu says it's just a henchman and they have yet to catch the person behind all this. Beta is very surprised to learn that the main character is a player under the nickname Emperor. Lin Yu thanks Beta for his help and tells the girl that he will give her a reward a little later. The girl follows the main character and his friends with her eyes. She is impressed that Lin Yu is frighteningly strong, indecently rich, and at the same time still young. The girl runs after the main character and asks the young man to let her join his team. Lin Yu sits opposite the bound first witness, intending to interrogate him. The man says that the ghost vampire has left, but sooner or later he will return and finish off all the young people. Lin Yu asks the question, if the ghost is really so strong, why did he immediately run away as soon as he saw him? The first witness feels a terrifying aura emanating from the main character, and understands that the guy is stronger than his master. Lin Yu brings the bell to summon the spirits to the man's ear, and begins to gradually put him into a trance. The magical waves emanating from the bell fill the entire room and paralyze the man's will. Lin Yu asks who is behind the ghost. The man, unable to control his mind, he says that the village chief's son is behind everything. The first witness and his brother were going to tell the headman about the incident, however. As soon as the headman found out about it, he wanted to kill the first witness and cover up his tracks. A little later, the headman's son came to the man and told him that he was the owner of the vampire, after which he offered cooperation in exchange for getting rid of the disease. The ghost vampire bit the first witness and gave him the power to draw vitality from blood. The man agreed to a criminal conspiracy and resigned himself to the fact that he had become a monster in order to save his life. He understood perfectly well that this step would change him forever. But the fear of death turned out to be stronger than remorse. The main character knows that the first witness killed his brother, which drove his wife crazy, after which he began to deliberately lure the craftsmen to the hotel so that they could be devoured by the vampire. The man confirms this. He says that after becoming the ghost's assistant, he immediately went home and drank his brother's blood to weaken the disease. The young people learn that the wife of the first witness did not dare to go against him, and began to carry out his criminal orders. The man says that she was afraid for her life and obediently followed all his instructions. Beta reports that she is glad that the criminal has been found and offers to deal with the other members of the bloody gang. The protagonist generates a throwing screw and asks the first witness if there is anything he wants to add to his words. The man says he won't say anything more and curses the young people. Lin Yu leaves the room. He expects success. The guy believes that they will succeed, because they are a single team. Lin Yu is confident that they can handle anything, be it secrets, collusion, traps, and other tricks of the enemy. Young people approach the elder's house and feel strong dark energy emanating from its doors, which foretells difficult trials for them. The ghost lords carefully move through the room. Hylan notices that there is no one in the house. Wentian says that something is wrong in the house. The guy feels that the spiritual power here is being suppressed by something. The main character becomes convinced that this house is a den of monsters. He realizes that the ghost living here is almost the same in rank as the ferocious one, and is capable of suppressing spiritual energy. Lin Yu did not think that the vampire ghost would be so strong. The guy invites his friends to wait outside. Beta is surprised that the main character is going to fight alone. The young people leave the room and say that Lin Yu is strong enough to handle it. Beta believes that Lin Yu needs her help since she is a talented spirit lord from a prominent family. The main character tells the girl that while he does not need her help, he asks her not to worry and to join the young people. Lin Yu enters the courtyard of a house in which there are a large number of coffins. The guy tells the ghost that he knows he is here and orders him to leave immediately. The main character believes that the ghost is in one of the coffins. The young man begins to open the wooden coffins one by one with his feet. From the coffin, a terrible-looking zombie attacks Lin Yu. The creepy creature rushes towards him, preparing to attack the main character with its crippled hands. Following him, the lids of other coffins open, and zombies slowly begin to crawl out of them. Terrible creatures, as if summoned from the darkness, rush towards Lin Yu. The main character is stunned by the number of dead. He realizes that the bloody gang has killed many more people than he previously thought. Lin Yu takes out the Grave Eater spear. The guy considers it a big mistake that the zombies intend to defeat him with a numerical advantage. Lin Yu thinks that disturbing the dead is not a good idea. The guy strikes the zombies and tells them that he will grant them eternal peace. The main character feels the elder's son appearing behind him. He understands that his opponent is a 6th-rank spirit lord. The elder's son laughs loudly, considering government officials to be cretins who always look down on and underestimate their opponents. The main character did not expect that it was possible to achieve such a rank without support from the authorities. The man claims that he achieved everything in life on his own, without the help of social institutions. He is proud of his independence and perseverance, which allowed him to reach heights that many could only dream of. The elder's son reports that in one of the games he came across a powerful weapon endowed with a huge amount of yin energy. If a man uses a magical artifact and lies down in the place of a corpse, he can absorb surrounding energy and control the dead for his own purposes. He says that with the help of the artifact, he became a 6th-rank spirit lord and repeatedly sent requests to the investigation center, hoping that he would be allocated a spirit, but he was constantly refused. The man accuses the center of the investigation that, due to their greed and indifference, they did not provide him with a personal ghost, as a result of which he was unable to protect himself in the game and became disabled. Now he is content with his symbiosis with a ghost vampire who kills people and absorbs their blood, and he raises an army of zombies to realize his dark and sinister goals. The elder's son believes that the government, due to its narrow-mindedness, has made a dangerous enemy for itself, although it could have gained a strong ally. The main character considers the man a scoundrel, because for the sake of his own benefit and selfish desires he ruined dozens of people. The man breaks down into hysterics. He says that no one cared about him when he was weak and begged for mercy, but now everyone is afraid of him. The elder's son intends to use any means to become a powerful overlord. He considers people worthless and despises them for their weakness and helplessness. The ghost rises into the air, holding his master. The man gloatingly informs Lin Yu that he will soon become food for his insatiable servant.